A big-time win tonight, 142-129 over the Washington Wizards. Man, this is an interesting game. Very interesting game. You just joined us. We are at the Cream City crossover again. Back at it, doing what we do on a Monday night. Having some fun. The Bucks were in the district tonight and got the win 142-129. I mean, the box scores are crazy on this if you're watching it. And we appreciate you for coming on in to the Cream City crossover and joining with us. It's the guru, Trey Crosby III.
Khris
JT.
King. Ooh. See, I've been out for a couple. I've been out for a couple of shows, and now we already messed up the order, but we're good. I'm Khris King. Hey guys.
And you know what, man? It's the Henny with the ice in it, sir.
Oh,
That's what
man.
that is. Chris got the Henny with the ice in it.
Cheers.
Hey, time to
Hey.
celebrate, fellas.
Big
Another
bucks on
win.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a big win. You, as always, you can get your comments in on the Cream City Crossover YouTube page, or you can also, of course, always get them in on my Twitter at TCIIIESQ. And yeah, everything doing what we do. We'll read them as they come in. JT again is 142-129 victory. Let's go through some of the stats right now really quickly. Giannis 42, 13 and 8 in 33 minutes. He was 20 of 23 from the field tonight. That's 87%. I mean, he was just absolutely dominant. There's no other way to explain it. Absolutely dominant performance from him. He did everything you wanted him to do, everything you needed him to see, and it was just an excellent game from Giannis Antetokounmpo. He was great. He was all over the floor. Damian Lillard, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. He had an excellent night. He was big all over the place. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists for Khris Middleton. 23 minutes was the big number for Khris tonight. He jumps up over. Listen to that. Look at that. Look at the ramp. Ramping up. Going from 19 and 21 all the time. Now he's at 23. And then Brook Lopez, 16 points, 9 rebounds. Malik Beasley, 16 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. Bobby Portis from the bench at 17 and 8 boards. And then Pat, AJ, and Cam Payne all contributed as well from the Washington Wizards side of things. Jordan Poole put up 30 points. It was so funny watching Jordan Poole play too. 30 points. He was 11 for 26 from the field. So it wasn't the worst. 3 for 9 from 3. But, I mean, 1 rebound, 1 assist. He didn't pass the ball a whole ton. Kyle Kuzma, 22 and 13 assists from Kuz. Tyus Jones had a real nice, solid game. 18 points, 3 assists for him. And then Corey Crisper got into the action as well. And again, so the Bucks win at 142-129. John Tyus, I'm watching that basketball game. I think, I'm talking to people on Twitter as well as this thing goes on. It just seemed like, again, it was weird. The Bucks were up. They're up 5 points at half, 70-65. Giannis is getting anything he wants, doing whatever he wants to do. But it just still seemed odd, right? It seemed like, you didn't know what was going on. And it felt like even though you're up 5 points at the half, that they should have been up 30. They should have been up more. They weren't. And then this thing keeps going to the balance to where the Washington Wizards actually take the lead at one point during that game in the third, I think in the fourth quarter as well. But it never felt in doubt to me. But again, you have people on Twitter crying, "Oh my God, the Bucks are losing. What is going on? They can't play like this." And again, I agree with you. I agree to an extent. No, you shouldn't give up 130 points to the Washington Wizards. I don't disagree with that. But at the same time, John Tyus, Khris King, what the Milwaukee Bucks, what fans have to do here is change the mentality and the mindset. Drew Holiday is no longer on this basketball team. You have Damian Lillard now, okay? This team's identity, and again, I think that was one of the issues that people had with Dr. Adrian Griffin, was they couldn't find the identity for this basketball team. And now you're starting to see what the identity of the basketball team is. They need to, what do we talk about? They need to get you down to the end. They need to, and it needs to be close, or I mean, obviously they blow you out, but they need to get the thing down to the end, and they have a chance to beat you. And again, 27 points, they give up 38 and 37 in quarters 2 and 3, and then hold the Wizards to 27 again while putting up a 38-point quarter. The Bucks scored 30 points in every single quarter. The identity of this basketball team is they're going to outscore you. That's how good they are. Offensively, they are unstoppable. That, I think, is what we're starting to see the identity is. And I think what Bucks fans have is this identity crisis of that's not what we're used to seeing. And so some people talked about it on Twitter as well. But if you're used to seeing a team that defensively has been good, and that's what the whole thing is about. And now you're having to watch another guard put up 30 points. By the way, I think in like 7 or 8 of the games, guards have put up 30 points against the Bucks. They've all lost. That's the whole point of this thing. You've got to start to shift the focus and the mindset and realize teams are going to put up numbers. But what we talking about, JT? We packed that thing too. So you can put up 130. We're going to put up 142. JT, what do you think about it?
Listen, you are preaching to the choir. Here's my thing. And this is something that, more of a new age basketball fan can appreciate than the old school fans. Your best defense is another made 3-pointer. Don't let nobody fool you, right? I don't care if they give up 130 points to the Wizards as long as they score 131. I mean, what difference does it make? No. Now I understand the concern when you start playing better teams, being able to defend, being able to get key stops is going to be important. But listen, we're in game 14 of the season right now. You got to take the pretty wins with the gritty wins. We say this all the time. Tonight's game I thought was a little weird though, right? So for example, some strange things happened in this game. You think about that first half, right? This is 2 out of 3 games now where we've scored 70 points in that first half, which I think is beautiful from an offensive perspective. But you had some weird things happen. For example, y'all realize Pat Connaughton played, I think it was 6 minutes in the first quarter, and he took a shot. And then for the rest of his time in the first half, he didn't take a single shot. Literally, he played 15 minutes and was 0 for 1. That's it. So that's interesting, right? Because that's something that you may or may not expect from Andre Jackson Jr., right? You don't expect that from Big Shot Pat. You expect Big Shot Pat to at least have a couple threes every time he gets in for extended time. That didn't quite happen, right? So I thought that was a little bit weird. Another thing that I thought was strange about tonight, we got absolutely – so we had our season high so far in rebounds with 55, and the Wizards had 27. But you realize the Wizards had 20 more points in the paint than us, right? We had 64. They had 84. I thought that was strange. We also lost the turnover battle. I believe it was 15-4, right? Bucks had 15. Wizards had 4. Having said all that, I say all that to say that some of the things that you look at your traditional indicators when you see a win by, let's call it 13 points, 10 points, you usually can spot that out. But there's definitely some things where you say, wow, well, they lost the turnover battle. And, that's a little weird, right? We only had 2 points off a fast break tonight, too. That said, I thought we went crazy offensively, and I love it. And you saw that firepower. You saw all 5 starters in double figures. You saw Giannis doing Giannis things, Giannis on an absolute tear. You saw Dame have a little bit more of a quiet night. I think he only shot about 14 shots, but it didn't matter. We got this thing done. And, there's going to be some weird ones in there, guys. We played 82 games this year. There's going to be some games where some things don't make sense. And you just got to say, all right, that's fine. We got through it. We found a way. We kept this thing pushing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and I think Bucks fans are so used to having this defensive identity, defensive-minded team, and when that doesn't happen, then it's kind of like, oh, wow, the sky's falling. But no, I'm not opposed to going out there and outscoring teams. I mean, this is professional basketball. People are good. People can make shots, and if we can hit more shots than the opposing team on any given night, then I'll take my chances with this Bucks team. I'm not really worried in that aspect. And then just want to shout out Malik Beasley. I mean, just very efficient. Didn't take many shots, but efficient 16 points.
Hang on, Chris. Who you shouting out?
Your boy.
One more time?
Your boy.
Hey, this is 2 weeks in a row. Who we giving some love?
Mr. Bees.
Right.
Mr.
Right. He's the first one that got this thing going with Larsa Pippen. Maybe it was Future, but boy.
You know what's crazy is working downtown Orlando, I actually saw him with his whoever he's messing with. No. It was a
okay.
I think it's his girlfriend or whatever. But I actually saw him, and then for him to be a Milwaukee Buck is awesome. But yeah, no, I love Malik Beasley, how he's playing, efficient shooting, and yeah, I think he's gonna really be good for this Bucks team.
Going to be hard for Dr. Griffin to keep him off the floor when he's playing like this. Again, 142, 129. We see you joining into the Cream City crossover. We appreciate it. Again, let you say we got to take a second to shout this out. And Tish on the YouTube show says hashtag Bucks Nation. She also says hit the like button. We love it. Please like it, subscribe, follow, all of that.
Man, one time for Tish. We love Tish.
But one time for everybody, because we hit a record high last game against the Dallas Mavericks for watchers and viewers and listeners. We appreciate every single one of you, and we appreciate you so much. We're going to get to the comments right now. Abeldrame Diamante says, if Giannis is not in the top 5 MVP ladder, I'm going to lose my mind. We're going to talk about that. Kyle in Racine says, what do a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common? Okay. I like this one, Kyle. What do a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common? Anybody know? It's quick.
I know you're stealing this joke for Saturday.
Well, no. Well, this is his job.
That's what I know.
Anybody know? Real quick. They are both parasites. The tick and the Eiffel Tower they're both parasites.
I get it. It's cool.
I like it, Kyle. I like it. Let's get to some more comments. At Drew Barringer, if you like that, like and subscribe. Drew Barringer says, feels like Giannis could average 40 a game in this offense. And you know what's crazy? I don't know. And that's a great comment, Drew. I don't know if it's the offense or if it's the fact that Giannis is playing so great around the rim. His touch is better. There were some stats about, what he's shooting. Khris Middleton shooting mid-range crazy as well. But, I mean, he had a couple turnarounds tonight that were just nice. Turnaround switch. He had one where he called glass. It goes off the bank. Listen, the touch is there. I think he had 8 dunks tonight. So he was good. But the crazy thing, and John, you talked about this before we got on the post game. About Giannis being 2 for 6, and that's your down point of the night. But the crazy thing is, Giannis only took 6 free throws tonight. He has not been officiated correctly this entire year. I don't care. I mean, I get he's missing free throws, but there's no way when he puts up 40, and I think 34 of the points or whatever it was come from within the paint, that he only goes to the line 6 times. He did not go to the free throw line at all in the first half. So there's a lot of contact against him that goes uncalled, and just goes to the point Drew saying he could average 40 a night in the offense. Well, he could average 50 if they give him the calls. Marcus Johnson has talked about it on the broadcast, where it seems like this year officials are letting a lot more contact go.
Yeah, well, and okay. So they're letting a lot more contact go, but he's not getting it. Like, they may be letting a lot more contact go, but he's really, really, really suffering from that. Because, I mean, again, it ain't no way, right? It's like a football analogy. You remember when Cam Newton's a perfect example. That man would never get a roughing the passer call. It was never going to happen when it happened with him. And he didn't get that for years. It kind of feels like this with Giannis, where for some reason he's a league star. They have no interest in protecting this man. He literally gets scraped, crawled, bowled, you name it, and they just don't give him that love. I mean, yeah, he's down there, I want to say banging in the paint, but like that ain't.
Be careful.
There's no pause there, though. There's no pause. I just said bang. He's down there banging. He's down there banging in the paint, right? And it doesn't happen. That probably is the weakest part of his game. But if Giannis could make free throws, let's say at 70 to 80% consistently, you realize that man might literally one of our subscribers, our listeners just said, he really may average 40 plus a night.
Yeah, no, he was absolutely. But again, even without that, he played very well. Of course, he is the Cream City crossover player of the game tonight, putting up 42, 13, and 8, flirting with a triple-double. 1 steal, 1 block to go with it. But again, the crazy thing is it's the efficiency that he does it with. 20 of 23 tonight, 87%.
You know what we call Daniel Gafford? We call him
What's
food.
That?
He's food. In the backyard.
Food.
In the backyard, they grilling him. Hey,
barbecue chicken.
Thanksgiving about to come. Yeah, Giannis was feasting.
Yes, he absolutely was 100%. And again, he scored all kinds of ways you wanted. It was like a man amongst boys out there, which, to your point, as we continue going down our list, there was a list that came out today where Giannis wasn't in the top 5. I believe it was the NBA list that they put out. And I'll find it for you in just a second. But Giannis wasn't in the top 5 MVP rankings. And I don't know what people are watching. I truly don't. I don't understand what you're watching. It's just crazy to me. I believe Giannis is averaging basically Jason Tatum numbers this year, but more assists than Tatum, which is insane. And somehow Jason Tatum's in the top 5 and Giannis isn't. I don't get it. Now I get there's a couple. We're talking about 13, 14 games of the season. There's no way you're counting wins and losses against a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo at this point in the year. So I don't understand that. But yes, 100% to our listeners and watchers, whatever. Everybody's saying that Giannis being MVP, you absolutely should.
Listen, I'm just gonna make this point here, right? It seems like anybody who's a Bucks fan who's watched this team has seen since that Detroit game. He was balling before, but Giannis has gone crazy since that Detroit game. Well, since he got ejected, it's literally like Giannis took this thing personal and said, "You know what? Y'all gonna pay for this because it was incredibly bogus, right?" Let me just read you guys since that Detroit game in the 7 games. You got Indiana 54-12 from Giannis, Orlando 35-10, Chicago 35-11, Toronto didn't play, Charlotte 16-8, Okay. Dallas 40-15, Washington 42-13. If you got an MVP list and Giannis in it, right? I got to question the integrity of your MVP list. Like, what are we doing here? You don't even got him cracking the top 5 in that list.
No, I'll give you the B-ball reference top 10. It was and so here's number 10. Jokic,
Number 10.
Embiid, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Tyrese Maxey at 4, Sabonis, Domantas Sabonis at 5,
Okay,
Jason Tatum at 6, Tyrese Halliburton at 7, Luka Doncic at 8, Kristaps Porzingis at 9, and Giannis at 10. I don't know what the hell we're looking at.
Yeah,
I'm confused.
They playing, bro.
I'm confused.
They playing. You know what they did? They took probably some all-star teams between 2013 and 2019. It was like, yeah, we definitely taking these names on the hat. I'm Sabonis, really, and I love Sabonis' game, but really, you got Sabonis over Giannis. And what was Sabonis at 6?
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Y'all playing.
Warren Price steps in and says Dame probably takes votes away from Giannis MVP votes. Well, that's fine. So then, how do you have? Okay, I'll indulge you. Then how do you have Maxey and Embiid top 5 with each other? If that's the case, and by the way, Damian Lillard has not played as well as Tyrese Maxey has this season. So I'll just go with that as well. So I just don't get some of that. Ryan S. Perry 98 says GA is playing some of the better ball of his career. Offense is humming. Fourth quarters, we're a runaway freight train. Defense still a work in progress, but getting better every week. Right now, I'm very confident in this team. I'm very confident this team can accomplish big things this season and beyond. And one more, Willie Lindquist says Bucks team looking unstoppable.
Yep. I'm with it. I mean, think about this, right? Like, who in the East, or you know what? I'm not even gonna focus on the East, right? Think about your contenders this year, right? Who out of all your contenders this year makes you nervous with this Bucks team playing like this?
Well, that's the thing. No, and it's a good question, and I want to get your thoughts on this too, Chris. When you say nervous, to me, nobody, because again, it's that thing I talked about at the start of the show. This mindset has to shift now. Depending on what happens Wednesday night, there are going to be a lot of people who I guarantee you, because again, and it could happen. The Bucks could lose by 15 Wednesday night. I don't know, but I agree. Yes, I don't care. No.
Lose. I just want to go ahead. I'm going to go on record and say this: if the Bucks lose on Wednesday, the sky is not falling. We're going to be just fine. I promise you, we're going to be just fine. It's not going to be that serious. Now, what I do want to see the Bucks do is go ahead and punch the Celtics in the mouth and just go ahead and let them know that we got the better end of this thing, right? We don't miss your boy, right? We don't miss your boy Drew Holiday. We don't miss Lauren. We don't miss nobody.
Drew Holiday is missing free throws in the game. But full disclosure, JT. Now, I agree with you. I'll just say it. I don't care. If they lose, you're right. Sky's not falling. If they win, though.
Oh, you about to be on? I already know. I'm already know. We gonna get.
Don't let us win that game.
We gonna have beef with somebody else, man. We gonna have beef. You know what's funny about tonight? By the way, I don't know about y'all. Maybe I'm the only person that feels this way. But something about Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma, I just can't take them seriously. I can't do it. Right? They're like literally. You remember when? I don't know y'all. I know Trey. Obviously, I know your academic background, but you remember when you was in, like, let's say high school, middle school, and you had that friend get in trouble, and or you get in trouble, and you got that friend to look at you and trying to make you laugh, and you like trying not to laugh, and everybody trying to, right? I feel like it's a lot of that going on around that facility with those two. I just couldn't imagine being a coach and getting in a huddle and you trying to draw a play up. It's like, all right, who's serious here, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like who's serious? I can't. But yeah, I just had to get that out because they objectively, I guess they played well tonight, together, but.
I feel like they're more worried about being social media stars and influencers than they are playing good ball. So it's like
they're the LA Fitness crew. That's what they are. They're the LA Fitness crew, right? I met my man in the parking lot. We're gonna go in and get this 5. We're gonna go jump on the court and keep this thing pushing, right? We're gonna play a couple games and go home. That's what they are. They are truly the LA Fitness crew. But
and I thought that, honestly, I will say this, in Jordan Poole's defense, I thought the second half was much better than the first. That first half was ridiculous. I mean, he's out there. I mean, you ever play 2K and you get points down when you clap for the ball? In my player, he out there clapping for the ball outside the 3-point line. Dude, the first quarter he had 15 points, no other stats, just 15 points on 13 shots. He had no rebounds, no assists, nothing. Like, he out there, I'm shooting every time I get.
I told you.
Who's in the crowd? Who's in the crowd? Because I'm pulling. Who is?
it's the LA Fitness mentality. Like, hey, I've been working all day. I'm about to pull up here. I'm about to get these buckets tonight. I don't care about nothing, right? You absolutely love it. And like, shout out to Jordan Poole, right? He from the area. He from around the way, so you got to give him some love, right? 414's finest. But man, like I watched. You're right. He clapping for the ball. Like again, you at the YMCA. You got your socks pulled up.
Socks pulled up. Headband on.
Headband on. Mike had a towel on the sideline.
Taking water breaks. If you just hear the Cream City crossover, appreciate you joining. The Bucks win at 142-129. It was an interesting game. We get to some more of your comments here at Light Seraph Marvin Lee, always a friend of the show. Says Giannis is in fuego. Good momentum for the Bucks heading into a big matchup with the Celtics. Role players are really rounding into form. Khris ramp-ups should stop already. Play more in non-Giannis or Dame or both. Play more in non-Giannis or Dame or both lineups until crunch time minutes where he might be needed. At Evan Boyer says, Bucks starting to get that chemistry figured out. As expected, Giannis is back to being the best player in the league. Let me go back to Marvin Lee's comments about Khris Middleton and the 23 minutes that he plays tonight. Again, there were some interesting turnovers, but I just look at the numbers, and I know Titonia World. I know you're listening to the show right now and watching us. You have to be impressed. In 23 minutes, Khris Middleton shoots 6 for 12. That's 50%. Now, he didn't hit a three, but 18 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Let me see how many turnovers he had. He had 4 turnovers. You can't do that. But he was a plus 23 tonight. Can't do the 4 turnovers. But if he could cut the turnovers maybe in half, and I know maybe that's a tall task for Khris Middleton because he has some of the thing. And somebody's told me this before because I always talk about his turnovers, and it's not like his assist to turnover ratio is not bad. Like he has a pretty good assist to turnover ratio, but the issue is his turnovers are like Giannis's turnovers. They all make sense. It's a charge. I was going to the basket. Giannis is making a move and he travels, moves his pivot. It makes sense. Chris's turnovers are like some of the most Shaq in a fool moments.
Right.
I just dribbled off my foot because I was there. I couldn't execute a simple spin move. I throw the ball, trying to throw an alley-oop. I throw it, into the 7th row. Like those are his, and that's why they look so bad. But in 23 minutes, and again, I think that is a season high minutes for Khris Middleton. 18, 6, and 7. What you can say, Khris Middleton is doing a lot of things. And his mid-range jumper is as pure as we've ever seen it. I believe this year he is shooting at the best rate of mid-range for his entire career. His shot is still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. And in 23 minutes, if he's still able to put up 18 points, I mean, that's saying something, is it not? And he's filling up stat sheet, is it not?
What we say last show, Trey? What we say last show? We said you don't trade Khris because you can't get back anything better.
Right. No,
provided that Khris is healthy, you can't, right? Yeah. So think about that, right? For Bucks fans who are thinking about, well, do we need to trade Khris? Listen, when Khris is on and Khris is cooking, you can't do anything better than that. You really can't. Now, what I will say about Chris's turnovers, he is probably one of the only players I see on the league whose turnovers are more mental than physical, if that makes sense, right? It's like, you just a mental lapse, bro. You just it's like you just took your eye off the ball, right? You just, I don't know, didn't think that one out. Maybe, kind of like a football player. You catch a pass, but you don't secure it, right? You think about running before you think about tucking that ball and getting upfield, and it ends up on the ground. It's a little bit like that with Khris. But having said that, man, hey guys, think about this. I just want to go ahead and stress this. We have not seen Khris make a ton of a significant impact this year, and this team is already balling like this. Can you imagine how nice they're gonna be when Khris gets off the ramp, when Khris gets off Trey's ramp, right, the infinite ramp? When he gets off the ramp and you're seeing Khris, Giannis, and Dame consistently play together, close to 30 minutes a night, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be beautiful.
Well, yeah, it makes your offense so much more versatile when you have another guy who can knock down open shots, who can create off the dribble. That's something that kind of Bucks have been missing ever since, we had Mr. Drew Holiday. He's really crafty with the ball, Khris is, and I think people do underestimate that. But at the end of the day, he does have those turnovers where he's trying to do too much. If he can limit that, then we'll be in really good shape.
I'm just looking to scroll. My goodness, I thought that was a typo that you had, but it's not. The Wizards had 27 rebounds. I got 26. The Wizards had 27 rebounds. I know the Bucks had 55.
They gave up. At
27
some
was
point,
like
they just gave up. At some point, they just
to Tony World chimes in and says he looks good because he's playing 20 minutes. That's the whole thing. So he wants to cap his minutes at 24 turnovers in 23 minutes. Yeah, he did have 4 turnovers in 23 minutes. Again, Khris Middleton, I mean, the impact is there just from that standpoint, in my opinion. Let's keep rolling along with the show. I believe I did want to get to the Bucks playing with their food tonight, right? It was a 142-129 victory. The Bucks were only up 5 at the half, and then you saw defensive lapses throughout. You had people on Twitter and social media, we talked about this at the beginning of the show, who were just very upset at what's going on. Bless you, whoever did that. No, you good. The weird part is I wasn't looking at you. I didn't see. I just heard it. But, no. So, it was, I guess, where was that? So Khris Middleton, right? Bucks playing the food. Sorry. Bucks playing with their food. So the interesting part about it, they're up 5, throughout the half. And it just felt like they were in a better position than they were, but they weren't. And then the third quarter comes out, and it's just like Giannis is having fun. And I'll tell you this, I knew the Bucks were going to be okay. Like, I knew they were going to win the basketball game. It was annoying through stretches about how they were playing. The game was never in doubt, but it was just annoying. But I knew the Bucks were going to be okay because there was one where, like, Giannis had a fast break, and the Bucks were probably only up 1 or 2 points at this point. And he travels because I think Tyus Jones got in his way. And, he didn't get upset or frustrated. He went to the camera as he's run down and looked at it and he kissed the camera and made a face. And it was just like, yeah, all right, whatever. We're in good shape. The other thing I thought that was interesting about the Bucks defense, because that's where a lot of the woes came, there was a stretch where I think the Wizards just hit some threes and, that's either here or there, those kind of things happen. But it seemed like Brook Lopez was able to alter the shots of like Daniel Gafford and those type of guys, but Tyus Jones found so many ways to get his floater or his layup right over at Brook Lopez, and it didn't seem like he was able to alter some of those shots. And then, like I said, again, you're looking at it was really the guards who did the damage, even though Kuzma had 22. But it was 30 from Poole, 18 from Tyus Jones. I'm not sure what Tyus Jones averages for the season, but I mean, some of that stuff. I mean, was it late? Let me ask you this, JT: was it laziness? Are there true concerns? Again, we've seen concerns about the Bucks defense throughout the year. Is it laziness? Do we have legitimate concerns? Or is it like kind of I was saying, where this is what we are. We're going to give up points to guys, and we're going to have to outscore them.
So, and I'm gonna punt to Khris here in a second. Here's what I'll say, right? And in defense of this Bucks team tonight, one thing, and I'm gonna credit Dr. Griffin for this because this is something that you got to put on coaching to an extent. So tonight they played with their food. Remember, in that fourth quarter, they were down by 1 at one point, right in like 10-minute mark, right? They were down by 1 point to the Wizards. Then they go on a 15-3 run, right? So it seems like this team, when it's important, but that's when butts get tight. When it's important, butts get tight. Folks is ready. Like, all right, it's time to. You're gonna pause me. I know you're gonna pause me, right? But butts get tight. It's time to bang. Let's get with it. Let's go. Look, I'm just saying, right? It's time to get out here and it's time to bang. No, I mean, look, all right. But that's what I mean. They go on a 15-3 run, and they and it's a wrap from there. So think about how many times you've seen the Bucks pull this thing together in the fourth quarter and pull it out, right? Like you've seen that, and that's becoming a theme too. And how many times the last 5-6 games you've seen the Bucks jump out the gate and come out swinging in that first quarter too. So I say all that to say that. Are you truly concerned that they're playing with their food? Well, yeah, tonight a little bit, but generally speaking, I don't think that's a theme for this team. I think you're seeing strong starts and strong finishes.
Yeah, I think just the turnover battle. I mean, we had 15, they only had 4, and they scored 18 points off of turnovers, and it's just dumb stuff. Like there was one in the third quarter or the beginning of the fourth where Dame just threw it away, and they went down and got a bucket. It's like we have to be smarter with the ball, and I think that's what leads to teams ultimately capitalizing off of our mistakes. Obviously, it doesn't matter if you can kind of outscore teams, but the thing is when you play the good teams and you don't take care of the ball, that's what's going to end up happening to you.
At Love Bread says good win, but that paint defense definitely needs to step up
That's true.
Wednesday because giving up around 80 points, that ain't it. I agree 100%. That's not it. And they're gonna have to play much better again. I do think some of it was laziness tonight. I think you see to watch the Wizards on your schedule, and again, you get to the point where you knew if you're Giannis, if you're to some extent Dame, some of those guys, they did not have an answer for Giannis. And the only thing that I was slightly, and I wouldn't say I was scared, the only thing that slightly gave me pause about tonight was would Giannis run out of gas? Because that's what we saw against Indiana. Was Giannis again? He had Dame as backup tonight, but because Dame wasn't there in Indiana, but Giannis you couldn't stop him. So it's one of those things where as long as that remains the case, the Bucks shouldn't lose. Doesn't matter. You give up 175, like you said, JT, we're gonna score 176. So that's the only thing that I'm okay with when I look at that. But yeah, the effort's gonna have to be a lot better. And then you look and you see where the problem, at least to some extent, is that because let me see, somebody in the chat said it. Says at Mario Lunar says defense needs a guard defender who can actually guard some of these guards. Maybe Andre Jackson Jr. needs to have more minutes. Again, he only plays, what'd you say, 1 minute tonight, right? He played well. Yeah, he got into the end of garbage time, and I thought he was going to play. Interesting enough, they played Andre Jackson. They played your boy Derry Bird, AJ Green.
Jerry Bird.
I don't think he hit a three tonight, but they played him a lot tonight. Instead of Andre Jackson Jr. And it seemed like you wanted that defensive guy that maybe could make an impact. I think I will say this, maybe Dr. Griffin was saving Andre Jackson Jr. for Wednesday night, but I think he's going to have to play because you're going to need to – listen, the Nassers might have to play on Wednesday night because I need to see the effort level from this team has got to be up. It's got to be up. And there is no Marjan. I don't know if Marjan's going to be back Wednesday night. I don't think he is. Jay Crowder obviously not going to be back. The effort level's got to be up, and it's some of those guys that I can't believe I'm saying it, but the Nassers and Andre Jackson Jr., if Marjan Beauchamp is playing, those type of guys that are going to have to be ready to step up and slide their feet and play some defense.
I 100% agree with that, and that's what I would say. And we talked about this on the last show. We talked about, is that defensive guard currently on the roster? We know it is with Jay Crowder, if you want to call him small forward or whatever, right? Hybrid. Jay Crowder's one, but again, you do have an opportunity with Marjan and Andre Jackson Jr. And if one of those guys can lean into that role and really step into it, that makes the trade deadline really interesting for the Bucks because maybe we go get another weapon.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if we have the depth, we do have the depth to kind of throw at teams and get into people and really guard their guards. It's just about guys got to communicate on the floor. Like, we've been getting killed in the pick and roll, and that's something that Kristaps and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are going to try to attack with our young guards that can defend. So I'm looking at that in the Wednesday matchup. Hopefully we can tighten that up.
Well, and we'll talk about that in just a second in the look around. We'll get right to that. I want to get through a couple more comments here. Tish says our defense is not it right now, but we see them lock down the fourth when it matters. We have seen that. We've talked about that on this show, right? Where the Bucks might just be a team that they just got to get you to where they need to get you 6, 7, 8, 9 points in the fourth quarter, and then they turn that thing up, right? Colin Racine says Brook Lopez will not be a defensive player of the year this year. He looked tired and soft when they were playing a bad team. Maybe some of that is true. I agree. I don't think he's going to be a defensive player of the year, or at least he has not played like it as of now. And you know what? One thing I did notice with Brook Lopez tonight, and you said we had 52 rebounds. How many rebounds did
55, sir. Go ahead. Right, season high.
Give them their credit. And I knew it. And before I look, Brook Lopez, does anybody know how many rebounds Brook Lopez had tonight?
I have no idea.
He had 9. That had to be a season high for him. Brook Lopez, it seemed like tonight, made a better effort of going and grabbing the ball. I don't need to see all the tips to everybody. The ball's there, go get it. And, that's someone just what you got to do. And I think there was one play where he was going up for an offensive rebound, and it just so happened that the player from the Wizards ended up knocking it out of bounds. And it's like just the effort alone sometimes will get you the ball back when some of those things happen. At Mike, at Gab RMJ, 32 says coast to the win. Bucks knew they just had to turn it on. let's get to the last part here. We did a excellent job, guys. Moving forward with this, Michael Bradley says Bucks got caught looking ahead to Wednesday. Mario Lunar asked in the chat, should we expect Marjan to play against Boston? I haven't heard. I know he did go through a warm up shoot around this afternoon or this evening before the game. So I don't know. I think I don't think they're going to. I don't think the Bucks are going to do something where if he can't play, that they play him. It's too early in the season for that. But I think so. If he's healthy and ready to play, I think the Bucks will play him. If not, they'll move on and ride this thing out without him. But he would definitely be a guy that you want to see if he's available. I'd love for him to be able to play.
Go ahead. No, you good. I was gonna let you go.
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah, I would love for him to be able to play. I mean, I think he gives you kind of a different look. Obviously, when he wasn't with. When he was with and under Bud, he really didn't get the opportunity to go out there every night and show what he can do on the defensive end. So I think if Marjan can kind of get his first crack at playing good minutes and meaningful minutes against the Celtics team that you may face down the road in the playoffs, I think this will be a great experience for him, and I think he can handle it.
So I agree with you, and I think that I don't think you rush him back, but if he's good to go, you got to play him. But you know what I'm looking at on Wednesday?
What's that?
Hey, Rook, Andre Jackson Jr., let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Because listen, I want to see what you got. I want to preliminarily see what you got because we might need you. And if we need you in that series to play good 7 to 9 minutes, hey, let's get with it. Let me see how you look against, quote unquote, the best competition. Like I 100% want to see that on Wednesday.
Let's take a look around the league again. The Bucks win at 142-129. They improved to 10-4 on the year. The Clippers are currently leading the San Antonio Spurs 116-94. The Pelicans are beating down the Sacramento Kings 121-82. It's the fourth quarter right now.
Sabonis, your boy Sabonis. I bet Sabonis got 10 points. How many points Sabonis got?
Yes, 10 points and 10 boards.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. Sabonis doing a whole lot of nothing.
Down 40.
Yeah,
the Timberwolves are up 103-89 to the New York Knicks. The Bulls are down 114-94 to the Heat. Warriors-Rockets begins in a second here. The Nuggets escape with the win over the Pistons. See, that's the thing. Again, I try to tell this is the NBA. Teams, you don't just beat everybody by 40 points every night. Everybody was so crying, oh my God, point differential. You win by 2 points to the Pistons. Look, the Nuggets, 107-103. That's how this thing goes. That's just how this goes. Joker had 9. He played. Did he get hurt or something? He played 9 points, 5 boards, 5 assists tonight. That's just how the NBA goes. I don't know. It does seem odd that his minutes were only 15, so maybe something happened there. And then the score of the night, the Charlotte Hornets win in overtime 121-118 to the Boston Celtics. Mario Lunar says Boston went to overtime with the Hornets where the Bucks beat them by 30. It's kind of funny. Wednesday will be interesting. Let's keep going on that Wednesday subject. Again tonight, apparently, and I go through the box score just a little bit, 40. So the Boston was clearly trying to win tonight. 45 and 13 from Tatum. He goes 43 minutes. Drew Holiday, 11.6 boards, 5 assists. He shoots 5 for 11. He goes 0 for 2 from the free throw, and apparently he missed a couple clutch free throws that kept Charlotte, I guess, either in the game.
I do not.
Or I guess I got to see what happened there. Miles Bridges 14 and 15, and LaMelo Ball went 36, 9 and 8. LaMelo Ball is legit. Hey, there were some questions about LaMelo Ball. Joker was ejected. Mario Lunar said Joker was ejected from this game. Okay. But
can we talk about Wisconsin's Sam Hauser going 1 for 9 from 3? Hey, look here, shoot. That fall, it's gonna fall eventually, right? Woo, that's a tour date.
Yeah, that's
a
rough
tour
look.
date.
It's coming up January 9th. Yeah,
and again, and
he shoots that against the Bucks.
Right, that's what I'm hoping for too. Right, go ahead and bring that energy right there against the Bucks and
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting tonight. And I ask you this, like I said, as kind of our look around. And right now, the other point, Kansas City Chiefs are up 17-7 right now on the Philadelphia Eagles. 7 minutes playing in the third quarter. But I do want to ask you guys, looking ahead to Wednesday night, it's gonna be a barn burner the night before Thanksgiving. We'll do some Thanksgiving stuff on Wednesday. I know it's just be me and you, JT. But what matchups do you expect to see? I know we talk about wanting to see Andre Jackson Jr. Who do you think is playing who? There have been some reports, gentlemen, that Drew Holiday is going to defend Giannis. Now, we've seen some scenarios. You know, one of the best Giannis defenders. Now, again, we've seen Al Horford's defended Giannis pretty decently throughout the years. One of the best Giannis defenders was Marcus Smart, because it seemed like he has enough body to get up underneath Giannis, but he's stout enough to where he can body Giannis up a little bit. Drew Holiday, same kind of right. Well, he flops too, but Drew Holiday, same kind of just sturdy down low, and he plays a tough, hard-nosed defense. I want to see if that takes place. I want to see who do you think defends Jason Tatum, because you remember Giannis took on the matchup of Jimmy Butler to start the year against Miami, but since then has really has not defended the best wing players on certain teams. I think maybe outside of Julius Randle or some of those sorts. But I mean, does he take on Jason Tatum, or does he kind of linger around on Porzingis, or is he on when Horford's in the game? Is he on Horford? I wonder to see what do you think those matchups kind of look like? Who do they put Dame on? Is Dame going to be? I guess do you put Dame on Drew Holiday? What do you think those matchups look like across the board there for the Bucks and Celtics?
So you know what? Here's what I want to see. I want to see if let's talk about them guarding Giannis. Do you trust Porzingis? Would you trust Porzingis on Giannis?
No.
Oh, that seems like
no.
long. That seems like
we've seen that happen
long.
before.
I don't think Porzingis can hold Brook. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Porzingis can hold Brook. Again,
now here's the thing, JC. Your issue on Porzingis and Brook and whoever's on Brook. Remember last year in the when the Bucks played Miami, the Miami Heat put Max Strus on Brook Lopez. You know why? Because Brook Lopez stand out there at the 3-point line all night. And I can defend Brook Lopez. If he's going to stand there and shoot threes all night, I'll put a hand up and do my best against Brook Lopez. If they're going to put Porzingis on you, if they're going to put somebody who can't guard on you, does Dr. Griffin have the gumption to put Brook Lopez and tell Brook Lopez, get your 7'3" self down in the paint. We're going to dump the ball down. I know we got Giannis. I know we got Dame. We're going to dump the ball down to you, and you're going to back somebody up and back them into the basket every time until they change the defense.
Right, absolutely. You're going to make him feel all 282 of those pounds. You got to go 100%. I agree. Your throwback big man. Tell him, look here, I want you catching bodies all day, every day. And every single time you get the ball, I want that man feeling you. I want that man getting bumped. I want Brook to be as physical. That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, it seems like there's some things that the Bucks can 100% exploit against Boston. There's no doubt about that too. I definitely do. But you know what I really want to see on Wednesday? I want to see Giannis and Dame get out there and cook. I want to see Giannis and Dame on the national stage take the fear, put the fear in everybody, put everybody on alert. These dudes is giving you work. You're not going to be able to stop them. You got Clark Kent. You got Bruce Wayne, right? We got Robin in the mix. Okay, we got what's old girl? I would say Lois Lane, but she ain't really do nothing. She just was Superman's interest. But Lois ain't do nothing. What was she like? Yeah, Lois went. I can't. I was getting excited. I just lost my momentum.
Okay, that's all right.
Okay, we got Robin. We got that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how I go, man.
Khris, let me ask you this. I know John, and I know it doesn't matter if the Bucks lose. Is this a statement game Wednesday night? Is there? I do believe there's going to be some juice on Wednesday night, Boston, Milwaukee. Is this a statement game for either one of those teams?
100%. You have the Bucks on a 4-game win streak right now. There's nothing stopping them right now from being able to go in there and kick some ass. I feel like the Celtics probably distraught that they lost to the damn Hornets tonight. So I feel like you kick them when they're down, you step on their throats, and you go in there and blitz them. And let them know who's boss. Let them know who made the better trade in the offseason. And look, you guys talked about matchups. Look, I honestly do think they'll have Drew on Dame. You take a look at the playoff series when Drew was in New Orleans and Dame was in Portland, where Dame got swept. And even Dame has came out here and said that Drew Holiday is one of the best defenders in the NBA. So hopefully Dame can kind of change the narrative around that and give Drew the work.
Is there anybody that can legitimately guard? If Drew Holiday can't do it, who guards Giannis on that team?
Oh, yeah. Well, again, the only other option I think they have is that Rob Williams is there. And again, Giannis has done well every series against Boston, even the series that they lost when Khris Middleton wasn't available. No, the best option they have is Al Horford, who looks like he is taking a step
Man,
back.
you gotta hang it up, man.
Al Horford at
Hang
the
it up,
tender
man.
age of 40. Good luck. Good luck at the tender age of 40.
Well, I'm just saying again, he's not going to stop Giannis. He's not going to stop Giannis. But the question is, can he not give up? What Giannis had tonight? 40. What do Giannis had tonight?
42 and
40.
was it 42 and 12?
Can you not go? Can he not go 20 of 23? Can you do that? Can you hold him to 30 or so points? 33, 30. Can you hold him there? If you can do that, if you're Al Horford and hold him to where, like I said, he's not super efficient. If you've done something like that, I think you've done your job. I think you've done your job. And I think Al Horford, I know we're picking on Al Horford a little bit, but I think he can.
Because he's old and he's washed, and nobody ever can figure out how he does what he does. Because it feels like, yo, what is this? Like
PEDs.
Yeah, PEDs. Yeah. What you say? Deer antler spray?
Sorry. Let me.
I'm kidding.
Well, no, I will say.
We'll start that
say
mess, man.
Yeah, let me. That was a joke. So please don't sue us, Anna Horford. We don't want to be sued.
Man, look, we lawyers. We can handle that suit. I ain't worried about that.
I
Bring
don't
that
know
action
if he's
you
on
want.
the deer antler spray.
Look, no, I wanted to talk about just the play of Giannis though. Like this man, ever since Dame went out with the little injury or whatever, like. I think he's finally recognizing, like, okay, this is still what I do, and he's still playing at an MVP caliber. So, good luck holding Giannis to 33 right now. Good luck, because the way he's been playing, I don't know if you're gonna do that, no matter who you are.
Last thing on Dame, and then we'll wrap. We'll get this thing wrapped up. Good job, fellas, tonight. Appreciate everybody for watching us. Damian, one of the things I just love about Damian, he finished with 22, 7, and 5. He shot 5 of 4. Talk about shooting a tour day. He was 5 of 14 tonight. But he was 9 of 11 from the line. Some uncharacteristic misses. I think he's shooting about 90% on the season. He shot 80% tonight, 9 of 11. But Dame has this uncanny ability to, when things aren't going well and his shot isn't falling, again, 22 points, basically half of them come from the line. When that shot isn't falling, this is, I don't say this, in any type of way. I like it. He's on our team. He's one of the good guys. He is 100% a foul merchant. Like, I know Giannis goes to the line a lot, and I don't call Giannis a foul merchant because I think Giannis legitimately earns every foul that he gets, and he misses some. I don't think they call everything they should.
They probably call 1 out of every 4, like, for
exactly.
Giannis. Seriously.
Damian Lillard has the ability, and I think it's maybe because he's smaller and he can contort his body, and refs just like to call it when he's in the air. Dame finds a way to get to the line, and it's a skill. Again, James Harden used to be one of my favorite players to start dissing Giannis, but there is something to say for it being a skill, finding ways to manipulate defenders to get yourself to the line, to get yourself buckets, especially when things aren't going well for you. Like I said, when things aren't going well, shooting the ball. And I can't wait. I'm telling you, Wednesday night, I cannot wait to see this matchup when Jrue Holiday gets on Dame Lillard. And it's going to be, hey, you know what it is? It's going to be personal. It's going to be personal because those guys are traded and people said, what they said. And is Jrue Holiday a better addition? And I feel like Dame's going to have to be on a mission to show, this is part one of that. It's going to be crazy if this gets to the playoff series, but this is part one of this Damian Lillard, Jrue Holiday. This is going to be a thing all season.
Man, I just wish this game was at Fiserv.
I like it in Boston.
I wish this game was at Fiserv. And I haven't looked at the schedule. I'm sure we probably play them again, and that one will be at Fiserv. But man, I wish this game was at Fiserv. I really do. Again, not the end of the world if we lose, but I would absolutely love it if we won. I would love it if we take it to them by 2025 and everybody's scratching their heads like, ooh,
yeah, people would scratch their heads. That happened.
Ooh, they gave Boston work because everybody's going to remember that too. Say what?
No, I was just saying we're going to get some good clips out of that because I know Trey's going to talk his stuff.
Yeah, we're going to have beef with a new.
It's going to be interesting. Like you said, no matter how it happens, we'll see. It's going to be fun. But I do like it in Boston on the road, hostile environment. Boston fans are some haters, and it's going to be a hostile environment. The guys got to stick together. We're going to see. Everybody talk about the vibes from the Bucks before the Bucks won this 5-game win streak. Well, now we're going to see what the vibes look like because the guys got to band together like bros and play some basketball. Give Warren Price one of the last statements on this. He says it is a statement game, more so for the Bucks. We were too soft under Bud. Celtics blew us out and laughed at us last time they played. dare I say we're a little bit softer now, just because, again, it's a different type of team. And this is a finesse basketball team, but the guys who have to dig, they have to play hard. And again, this is my prediction. Get yourself to within 6 to 8 late in the game. 8 minutes to go. 8 minutes to go. That's what I want you to look at, John Tyus, Chris King. 8 minutes to go. What does this game look like? Are you within 2 or 3 possessions? If you are, you're gonna be in good shape.
Look, we find our grit. I agree with you. We might be a soft, we might be a soft team, but we find our grit. We can turn it off. We can turn it off and turn the toughness on, and we do it. We do it, especially in that fourth quarter. So I'm cool with it. You can be soft for 3 quarters if you want to. That's fine. But when it's time to go, you know what I'm saying? We gonna buck up. We're gonna get it cracking.
Any final words as we get ready to close this thing out, JT, Chris King?
Man, I don't know about y'all, but it's the week of Thanksgiving. I am doing no work, none at work. I'm not doing. I don't know about y'all, man. Send a couple emails, rejecting meeting invitations till next week. Keeping this thing pushing, baby. Thanksgiving is a holiday week. Let nobody fool you.
Just so my employer knows, I'm doing a ton of work.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and I want to get my little college basketball knowledge in here. So Marquette looking like a top 5 team and continuing to be a top 5 team. Big win over Illinois on the road.
That's not a color.
Are you trying to pregame a Marquette postgame show, Chris? I feel like you try. Are you trying to pregame Marquette postgame show?
Hey, look,
are we going to do a Marquette
audience is there. Look, I love my Milwaukee folks. And then, the Dayton Flyers lost last night, got dog walked by Houston. But big showing in Charleston, got a couple nice wins versus LSU and St. John's. Got to shout my boys out. So, yeah, big stuff from the Flyers.
So you're trying to preview a Dayton Flyers podcast too?
Oh
man, listen.
College basketball in general. That's
we're going to turn it to a record label. I'm trying to tell you. We're going to be Death Row Part 2. Podcast everywhere.
Email, Cream City Crossover at Gmail, baby. Let's go.
Here we go.
Cream City Media Group.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know.
100%. Give me your socials so they know where to find you, Chris King.
At DYT Chris King on Twitter. You got me at Christopher King with a 1 in the I on IG. And then my TikTok, the TikTok is Cream City Crossover or CCC Bucks Show. So there we go. So
JT, where can they find you, big dog?
Man, y'all can find me at The Real John T. Again, I don't really tweet like that, but if you tweet me, I will respond. I will reply from time to time. You know what I mean?
My tweet is Dayton basketball, man. So
I love when John does. I don't really tweet like that.
I don't really tweet like that. I'm gonna give y'all a disclaimer. Yeah, because I don't want y'all to look at my Twitter and be like, "Yo, this dude don't really tweet." I told you I don't really tweet like that. I ain't about to, I'm just saying.
Kathy Freeze watching. She says, "LOL, rejecting those meeting requests." She's on the same wave.
100%. Hey, Kathy, we on the same page. Yes, rejecting the meeting request with no explanation.
That's funny. Again, everybody, appreciate you watching. You can find me at TCIIIESQ. All of our social media handles on, I think, Twitter and TikTok. Like you said, at CCC Bucks Show. Is that it?
That's it.
There we go. CCC Bucks Show. Find us there. We do our thing as well. Saturday mornings from 10 to noon at Central. 97.3 the game. All your T's and Q's. Again, it's a 142-129 victory. The Milwaukee Bucks beat the Washington Wizards. Remember, this is a Cream City Media Group production. Appreciate everybody for watching, listening, subscribe, follow, like, all of that good stuff for us. It helps us out a ton. And we will be back Wednesday night right here at the Cream City Crossover. Join us. Don't meet me there. Beat me there.
Share with your fam on Thanksgiving.
It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one Wednesday night against the Boston Celtics. Again, that's it for us here at Cream City Crossover 142-129. Bucks win it back on Wednesday. Don't take no wood nickels.